Hey guys, it's Tempest, a challenger Yasuo main, and today we are going to talk about Yasuo AD carry. I know a lot of people think Yasuo is either a top laner or a mid laner, but I actually think his best role at the moment is in the AD carry position. The reason I feel this way is because his kit does very well against typical AD carries, and having a support with you to let you scale and farm up is exactly what Yasuo needs. AD carry Yasuo has a bit of a different playstyle compared to solo lane Yasuo due to the lane being a 2v2, and double range champions are common here. The biggest thing with Yasuo AD carry is how you play the first 3 levels. It is very important to wait till you hit level 3 and avoid taking too much damage until you get all of your abilities, since win wall is vital against AD carries and winning 2v2 duels. The 2 best ways to get level 3 on Yasuo without being poked out is either hard pushing the waves and not giving the enemy chances to poke you, or if you do not get the early push, then to let the waves push into you and not get poked down under tower. Even if this means losing a good amount of CS, as soon as you and your support hit level 3, are generally healthy and know the jungler isn't bot side, you should force a fight and always end up getting a kill, or at least blowing their summoners, as long as you picked Yasuo AD carry into a good 2v2 matchup. Some really good matchups you should try picking Yasuo AD carry into are Kai'Sa, Ashe, Jinx, Nami, Sona, Lulu, and Vel'Koz. All these champions are very immobile and have skill shots you can easily win wall. Champions I would suggest not picking Yasuo AD carry into are Lucian, Draven, Ezreal, Tahm Kench, and Zyra. These champions are either too mobile to take advantage of early on, or have way too much poke and CC for Yasuo to excel against. Personally, I always use my ban on Lucian while playing AD carry Yasuo because I find him to be the hardest AD carry to deal with. This doesn't mean if you verse these champions you cannot win, but it's just not what you want to verse. It's not ideal. On the other hand, champions that go very well with Yasuo AD carry and are my personal favorites are Nami, Alistar, Rakan, Thresh, Braum, Vel'Koz, and even Soraka. These champions are nice to have because all of them either have insane sustain to help Yasuo from being poked down, great follow-up CC and damage, or a combination of both. You may be thinking, why Soraka? She doesn't have a knockup. A support can actually do very well with Yasuo, even if they don't have a knockup. Soraka gives insane sustain and also has amazing follow-up, being able to silence and snare whoever Yasuo ults, which will usually always end up being a free kill. It's also a plus when you pick this pick if someone else on your team picks a ranged champion like Kindred for example, so you could siege. Because obviously, when you pick Yasuo AD carry, one of the negatives, you're not ranged. How are you going to siege towers? You need at least one ranged champion to make that a lot easier. You don't want to just AFK push with Yasuo AD carry because you can't get turret plating. Thresh is a ranged champion, I'm a melee champ. He can't really hit the tower by himself, so it's kind of just a waste, and it's just making the lane a free farm lane, which benefits Kai'Sa a lot more than it does Yasuo. So as you can see, we're not pushing, we're just letting it slow push in, denying as much CS as we can, looking to fight. Now I place a little up, my Thresh isn't in position, this should be a kill on Nami. But instead we just turn on the Kai'Sa, she plays way too aggressive with no flash, and we pick up a free kill. Unfortunately Thresh takes it with his ignite, but nothing he can do about that. If we just hard push instead, Kai'Sa just gets all that free farm, but instead, she misses that whole wave because she has to try to fight us. We look for the roam mid, but it's too late, so we kind of get a late push. We don't deny as much as we can, so I just try to hard push as fast as possible. I take a lot of unnecessary damage here, but it actually ends up baiting them. They over chase us because they want to kill me. I can't go in yet, I wait for Kai'Sa to get low, I get my shield back, I go in exhausters so I don't die for sure. Win wall the Nami bubble, and get a free double kill. I can't escape talent, so I just get as much damage as possible, and we get an easy 3 kills. A main reason we get all 3 of those kills is because Thresh Yasuo is so much stronger than Kai'Sa Nami early game. Thresh is also one of the best supports with Yasuo AD carry, so basically your main goal is Yasuo AD carry. You don't want to just farm, you want to just look to fight them and punish them as much as possible with your extreme early game. As you can see, I just go on Kai'Sa whenever I can, get as much damage on her as I can. Another good hook. We get her flash for free, which is massive. And now we just, instead of just pushing the lane, I just freeze right here. It's so important that I do this. I freeze as much as possible to deny them as many waves as I can. I end up not freezing as much as I should have, and clear the wave a little too fast, so that's my bad. But it's still on our side instead of letting it hit tower, which is very important. As you can see, they're really far up. My Thresh should not be roaming right now, but he comes back, so I just go for the all-in. I win wall so I don't get by the bubble, and just get a free kill on Kai'Sa, because she has to try to break the freeze. and just dies doing so. This is a very, very easy lane for Yasuo AD carry. But yeah, as you could see, we just had complete and utter control of the whole laning phase so far. Even with Kai'Sa getting a free double buff, which is huge. Even so, we just easily killed her with our 2v2. Because Yasuo just naturally counters Nami and Kai'Sa together, which is actually a pretty strong lane against normal AD carries. We said they're trying to roam, so we just push in to force them to come back bot. He misses the hook. If he hooks there, it's another free kill, but it's whatever. So basically what this pick forces them to do, it's either just sit on tower and we get free control of their jungle, we can roam mid whenever we want, get free kills, or we could freeze it so they have to come to us, which they really can't, and we just end up getting free kills on them when they do. Anytime they try to fight us. I'll land a good nado on Kai'Sa, get a lot of damage off. Lee Sin actually doesn't focus the Kai'Sa at all, so we end up only getting one there. The amount of gold I have on Kai'Sa at the moment is actually insane. I have 4 kills on her, 2 assists on her, and so much turret plating. Just the pick alone makes it so they have very little options to do anything in this lane. As you can see, Kai'Sa has no items yet, and I have a static and almost onto my infinity edge. It's insane. Also, I always take exhaust as AD carry because the support usually always takes ignite nowadays. And what I didn't talk about till now is that I'm actually taking press the attack. I only take this on AD carry because it amplifies my support damage too, making the 2v2 lane even stronger. I would only recommend press the attack on AD carry Yasuo. It's not very good mid, and it's not very good top lane at all. I just go top lane, I get even more turret plating. You want to just try to get as much turret plating every single game as you can. Any lane that has the turrets still up before 14 minutes, just go to those lanes, get the free gold. I'm just farming so much gold. A huge plus with Yasuo AD carry too is your support could just roam wherever he wants. Because I'm so strong at this point, I could just 2v1 people. I'm not a squishy AD carry like a Kai'Sa that always needs to be with her support, so I could just split lanes by myself. Thrush can help my mid laner, can help my jungler, and I'm fine. I could 2v1 a lot of people easily. It's 14 minutes into the game and I almost have my IE and static, which is massive. So at this point, we got the Rift Herald. I just go mid with my team. There's no way we lose 5v5s. The only way we can throw this game is just by getting picks or having them get picks on us. So just grouping with the team is the best option. I see Darius getting engaged on. There ends up being 5 here, so I have to get out immediately. So I just quickly get out. They use a lot of ultis. I flash early to not take too much damage. This is a pretty big throw by us, but I end up living. I don't end up fighting. I use the Rift Herald now to bait them into me, like this Talon. I exhaust him immediately to get rid of all of his burst. He actually still ends up killing me because Lee Sin doesn't kick the Pantheon. But it's still fine. We still end up killing all of them and cleaning house. My team then decides to push with the Rift Herald, and it's all good. At this point, I have my static IE at 16 minutes, which is a massive spike. I'm still really squishy, so I should still just be with my team. But you could split push. It's fine. I can't really get 1v1 by anyone on their enemy team, except for maybe Talon if he gets a good burst on me. I just go for objectives while my team pretty much aces them without me. I misplay here massively. I block his ult and his Q, but he still does so much damage, and I cannot be diving Talon like that. Does way too much damage for not having any armor. Even if I block his W and ult, Champion just does way too much damage. The downside when it comes to this point in the game is we have basically no siege. The only range we have is Thresh and Vladimir, which isn't going to do much. That's why ending games with Yasuo AD carry can be problematic sometimes, especially if you throw the game. My team just takes really bad fights for no reason, when we should be just pushing mid lane, and we end up throwing a lot this game actually, and giving a lot of free kills over to the enemy team. Instead of joining in, I just make pressure on the other side of the map and just push mid. Since my team's been throwing a lot, I just group with them instead. Best thing you could do, even if it's not the best option, is just to group with your team if they keep getting picked off. Even if splitting is the correct play, especially in solo queue, when you don't have comms. I go off with Thresh E here, which kind of just ends up me inting, but it engages the fight, so it's not too bad. We actually end up winning the fight anyway. Sometimes it is okay to ult just to engage the fight, even if I'm just going to die. I just want to end the game as fast as possible, since they do scale fairly well with Kai'Sa, Urgot, although we do have Vlad, so I don't need to be playing this aggressive, but I just want to force the fight as soon as possible. Another good thing about Yasuo AD carry is that he melts Dragon and Baron. Neutral objectives, he melts so fast due to his 100% crit. The only other AD carries that melt Baron faster are like Kai'Sa, Vayne, due to the percent damage, etc. And again, my team just keeps throwing non-stop this game. I try to save Lee Sin as best I can. We go on Talon together, I just flash for the Talon. I wanted to ult off Pantheon there, but I had no vision. This time there's nothing I could have really done about this, because they kind of just engaged when I was dead, so there's nothing I could do. The game is still fine though. So to end games with Yasuo AD carry, it's best to just bait Baron. Since you're a melee champion, you can't really siege towers as I've said, so it's better to just force engage right like this. They have to force into us, they face check vision, we get a really clean fight, and we just sweep them. Chasing Talon's a waste of time, so we just get the free Baron and eventually close out the game. This is how you always want to end games with Yasuo AD carry, because you can't really siege, as I've said many times in this video. You don't have range, you're not a Caitlyn, you're not a Jinx, so just get Baron and close out the game. So that's basically it with Yasuo AD carry. To recap, you want to pick him against good immobile AD carries that have little to no ways to escape, like Kai'Sa, Ashe, Jinx, Nami, Sona, Lulu, Vel'Koz. Get him in a good lane, have some range champions ideally, but you don't need to, obviously, as we just ended this game through getting Baron. Since we're all melee, it's the best way to close out the game. And yeah, that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and there'll be a lot more videos to come, so feel free to like, subscribe, and follow below.